Welcome back, everyone. Today we're focusing on making sure things work inside of the bus. And what I mean by that is testing systems that we set up a long time ago, and we're finally putting them to use to make sure that they're gonna work while we're using the bus. Now, a couple weeks ago, we tested the water system inside the bus, but that was just hooking up the water from an outside source and making sure that all the lines inside the bus worked. But now what we're gonna do is hook up the pump and make sure that the pump works by pulling the water from the two tanks that we have inside the bus to feed the system. And because we have the two tanks, we needed to connect both of them with some PVC piping, so that's what I did. And I also kind of messed up on the wiring for the sensors. All I needed to do was take off the positive wire to one of the sensor probes, and that solved the problem pretty easily. The system, as far as the levels for the water tanks, that works perfectly fine. You hit the button, it tells you the level of the tank based off of where the water is with the sensors. So what we need to do first is fill up the freshwater tank so that we can pull water through the pump system and make sure that everything works inside the bus. Now that the tanks are partially full, we have the interior exterior switches, and then we'll hit the pump. And then we should have water. So we have water here. We have water here in the bathroom. Then the toilet is all in and hooked up down there, so we should have water. We hit this knob down by our feet. We should have water in the shower. So that's a good sign. Now that we have the pump all working and pulling water through the system, we want to make sure that we have hot water. And the first thing to do is turn on the propane. So we turn the propane on down there, and then if we go over to the access door for the hot water heater, we just flip this little switch on. And we can see that the light is on, and then it's reading a temperature here, and then we can just hit these buttons, and that'll allow us to change the hot water temp. So we'll change it to 116, and then if we turn on the hot water, it should be all the way back, we can see that the system is heating the water up, and then we have these three symbols here, so it's heating the water up pretty fast. And I know that you can't feel the water, but I assure you the water is very hot, very quick. Now that we tested the propane with the hot water heater, I just want to test the propane in the other area that we have in the bus, and that is the stovetop. If we turn the knobs up here to light, this is the back one. And there we go. So that one's lit. We'll just test all three of them. 2 and 3. And with that, the propane system is complete in the bus. Now I did go around with some soapy water before I turned any of the propane on to make sure that there was no leaks within the system, and we were okay with that. So what I want to show you next is some little tasks that we got complete in the bus to finalize some areas inside of the bus. First, I want to start with the mattresses. So we have both the mattresses in the front loft and in the back area where the bedroom is. Those are all in. So we order them. In the front here, we have a 4-inch. It's supposed to be a mattress topper, but it's extremely comfortable with just a 4-inch mattress. It's memory foam and high density foam. And then the one on the back is an 8-inch one, and that is also memory foam and high density foam. Another small project is these cabinet door faces, and they are actually all complete. All I need to do with these is just put some extra layers of polyurethane on them, and then we can mount them up there. But those are 100% complete, they just need to be mounted. And because I have so much stuff on the top and I'm still accessing them, I'm just gonna leave them off right now until I get most of these tools out of here. We did get the seat belts finally mounted. We made a metal bracket behind there, as well as a metal bracket behind there. And then on the driver's side, we had a metal bracket. And we're putting a metal bracket down there that's going to be bolted to the floor. We do need one small piece of trim right here, but we finished this area. I'll probably put a 110 volt outlet right there if you want to access it from the couch. We also did put these vents in. All they are is just 4-inch vents so that the system underneath, the electrical system, can breathe. This area up here in the front, we put the carpet down, clean that area. We do need to put some metal corner stripping so that you don't trip over anything, everything's nice and clean. And then I did start on reupholstering the seats. here is kind of a little sneak preview of what it's gonna look like. They're taking a little bit longer than I thought, but I will get that done so that we can actually start driving this thing around. And then if we move outside, we put these pieces of sheet metal here and here so that we could extend it and make sure that everything was the same height. Just extending it from this part of the bus towards the back. On the other side, we didn't paint it yet, but I did seal it up. And here is the access for the mini split. So I just need to put a grate over this area here. As we move down, this is an area so that we have a container in here to put the hose and the shower hose. And then this is the access door for the black water tank. There'll be a door right here to access the generator right on the other side. And then we just need to finish adding some sheet metal up in this area. So yeah, we are moving quite along pretty fast at this point. Like I said before, the list of things we need to do is getting smaller and smaller by the day, and there's really not a lot left to do. But the main reason I want to get everything done so that we can drive it is so that we can go get it weighed on a scale so that we can transfer the title over from a bus title into an RV title here in the state of New Jersey. And there's the update on the bus and how much we've done in the past couple weeks of just finishing some small things while tackling the projects just like the floor. But there's some things we need to finish, and before we do that, we need to make sure that we're making this bus as safe as possible. So with that said, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you in the next video.